Welcome to the Cactus Pit Podcast. I am your host, Shawn Drinks.
Hello, guys. My name is Ryan, the Bearded Bastard, and this is Daniel Hines.
What's up?
DFW Combat Club owner, entrepreneur, father, family man. The list goes on. Danny, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me on.
We wanted to have you on today so you could have a bourbon with my friend Shawn.
And a great bourbon it is, too. Thank you.
What are you guys enjoying over there?
So this specific bottle is probably, I'd say, I was telling him top 8, top 5. It's one of my top favorites right now. So Saints Alley, this is called the Nobleman. I feel like you would like that, Ryan. It's a blend of straight rye whiskey finished in Takai cask. If you were to look at it, it looks like it would be pronounced Takaji, but it's a Hungarian wine cask, and this is an acquaintance of mine's brand, and it is phenomenal. It's amazing. Very good.
Always like the history of bourbons and wines, things like that, where they come from. Danny, what's your go-to bourbon when you're having a glass?
Right now, I was just telling Shawn before the podcast, I got my hands on a bottle of Still Austin cask strength, and a lot of times I just drink that neat, pretty good. But I'm trying to go, finish off a lot of the dregs of my bar so I can kind of restock it a little bit right now. So a little bit all over the place, but I think that Still Austin's probably my go-to right now.
Yeah, I need to try that. I haven't taken the time. I have so much whiskey at my house. I showed you the video of like all the stuff that I have, and that wasn't even everything. I probably have like 160 bottles of just whiskey.
Yeah,
I have other things as well, so it's ridiculous.
And asking your favorite is kind of like, which of your children do you love the most?
I know.
Everybody knows there's a favorite child. Let's not play games here.
We don't talk about it. I'm easy. I only have the one that I know of.
This is a simple solution to a complicated problem. Have one child.
I have no children whatsoever.
Well, you're missing out, I gotta say. It's one of those things. It's like once you have a child, you understand what it's like to be able to. Let's say it this way: if your child bites your dog, you're mad at your child. You say, "Don't do that." If your dog bites your child, you drown it in the shower. You know what I'm saying? It's a different type of love.
Yeah,
it's a different type of love. But speaking of drowning people in the shower, Daniel, you've been part of Krav Maga for a long time.
We said before the show we weren't going to talk about the shower incident.
I forgot, and maybe I just don't care, and I want to remember violence that happened in the shower.
That's a different topic, I guess. So sorry, what was the question?
So can you take us on a little journey of how you first got involved with Krav Maga and the first time you stepped onto the mats, put a gi on, and got involved?
Oh yeah, sure. So I've been a martial artist since I was 9 years old. So like 28 years now, or whatever it is. And back then it was really more of like the Taekwondo side of things. And actually, the reason I got into it was because my parents were splitting up, and I needed some kind of outlet. Right? I was a pretty angry kid, and I wanted to play hockey. My mom was like, "No, you're going to get in fights." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So she put me in martial arts, and so here I am now, having, competed in boxing and all kinds of other stuff. I beat people up every day, but my mom's happy. So, fast forward to when I was about 13, and the owner of the gym, who actually became my stepdad, started doing Krav Maga when it was first kind of coming on the scene back in the late 90s. And introduced everybody at the gym to it and said, hey, this is the direction we're going. This is like the real stuff we want to be doing instead of Taekwondo. And no disrespect to any of the traditional martial arts, but he decided that's what we wanted to do. And I jumped on, and I'll be honest, like when we first started training it, I didn't really take it too seriously because I was like, this is not the way, it's not pretty enough and everything. And then, is just kind of like the more I did it, the more I appreciated what it was, the value behind it and everything. It's a practical self-defense system and martial art. And then, throughout the rest of high school, that was it became a little bit more my thing. After I graduated college and came back, started, training more as an instructor and everything. I was pretty much been doing it ever since. And then about 10 years ago, I decided to buy him out, and now I'm the owner of the gym.
That's excellent. I first met you back in 2019, maybe 2018, pre-COVID.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Pre-COVID. Walked into Danny's gym, Combat Club, DFW, and met a lot of really talented, a lot of really nice, friendly people there. And the one thing that I liked about the martial arts when I got involved is there was a lot of very intelligent people, very driven and motivated people. And then, they accepted people like me, which was great, just kind of a knucklehead that just needed some structure. Which is kind of what I love about martial arts and the structure that you have, and maybe you can speak on that and kind of how that aligns with your lifestyle and being an entrepreneur and making it onto Dallas's 40 under 40 list.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's quite the accomplishment.
Nice.
I think that like martial arts in general just tends to attract nerds, it's a way to build confidence in people, and it's just kind of like, it's maybe like the misfit outcast kind of thing. It's like a place for people to fit in, and like that carries on to today with my gym. I don't try to. It's like, look, as long as you're willing to work hard, like I don't really care what you look like, what you sound like, where you're from, like what's in your past or whatever. Like as long as we're all trying to do the same thing, then there's a place for you at my gym. And I think that's pretty common among a lot of other martial arts gyms and everything. Some yes, some no, but in general, I think that's a place for people like yourself and really anybody to belong. And that's actually one of the best things about my job, I think. I get to meet people from all different walks of life. I've got professionals, doctors, lawyers, engineers and stuff actually, there was one guy just recently got out of prison. He was just like, look, I'm just trying to, stay clean and just trying to, keep my life on track and everything. It's like, cool, we got you, bro. Like, it's a place for anybody, really.
Absolutely. It's a place to
It's all about self-improvement, really.
Yeah, for sure. So there's a gym that that I would call home back in Tennessee. Shout out to the Grid House. Nate and Donnell King, super, super amazing people. There's a saying that they had, and it's pretty much like a universal thing at a lot of like bodybuilding / powerlifting type gyms. You're all the same under the bar. So, yeah, I think that's really cool.
Very true. I think for those of us who have had struggle in life, fighting is a euphemism for life, and it's very applicable to the hard work, the structure, and the dedication to a craft, whether that craft is jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, bodybuilding, whatever it may be. It's the discipline to it and the effort towards getting better at something incrementally that taught me that I could do that in other aspects of life.
And I mean, and we're a social species too. I think we kind of crave that connection with other human beings. And when you have somebody that like has the same goals in you or as you, or is like working alongside you and just supports you really no matter what, like a good training partner, or even better, like a team of training partners, that's huge, And I think like once you have that, like you never want to leave. It's a really, really powerful thing just for human beings in general, especially, touch-starved people, jiu-jitsu, just hug it out. It's cathartic for a lot of people.
It is. You can be anywhere on the planet, and if you run into a jiu-jitsu practitioner, you already know you get the slap and a hug.
Yep.
And you can break the touch barrier, and that there is something to be said about that. I mentioned that because, we don't really hug each other or show a lot of affection anymore. We don't high five, shake hands, we fist bump. We do all this. So getting on the mat with another person and sweating and working hard, and he strangles you or she strangles you, you get humbled by a 14-year-old kid or a grown man, but yeah, the commonality is that we're all trying to work to do better, and that for me is the brotherhood of martial arts. It's we're all on individual journeys, but collectively doing it together in a support structure.
That's why one of the nicknames for jiu-jitsu is the snuggle struggle.
The snuggle struggle, dude. That's a t-shirt.
Put on your jammies.
Speaking of like jammies, do you remember the Snuggie?
Oh yeah.
So I always wanted a Snuggie. It came out, I think I was a freshman in college, and I was like, man, I know that's kind of like lame, but also I kind of want one. And you remember that song, Teach Me How to Dougie, teach me how to Dougie. I always was like, you know what? I want to make a different rap. Teach me how to Snuggie.
Why don't you go get your Snuggie?
So, and then someone actually did it. So it was one of those things where it's like, because we were talking about it before, it's like, well, when we started the podcast, it's like, well, yeah, I want to like take a year to like learn how to do all this stuff. It's like, just start doing it. But like, I didn't start the Teach Me How to Snuggie rap. Someone else did it, and it's on YouTube, and I was like, come on.
And now you're not me.
You missed your window.
I know.
Gotta get out there.
I learned my lesson.
And that applies to martial arts too. Like no matter what it is, like when you're first starting, you're gonna suck at it. And so it's just, you got to be okay with that. It's a very humbling experience. I think it's healthy in general.
Did you just say we suck at doing our job?
Look, I probably suck at more things than you do.
I'm kidding.
You guys are doing great so far.
Well, what do you say is the biggest struggle for a new member to get over, to kind of break that barrier from becoming someone who knows nothing about martial arts to becoming like a person who might be invited on a fight team? What kind of mentality does that take from a person, and what do you see people kind of give up on early?
Humility, like I said, is a big thing. And really a lot of it just depends on what someone takes with them into the gym. With a lot of people that I see, they have like a pretty healthy ego going into it. Like especially if they're professionals or they have some kind of terminal degree or something like that, or even martial arts experience from, before in their life or something like that. They come in, they're like, oh, I should be good at this because I'm good at everything else in my life. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way, dude. It's like, this is a different skill set. Or even like, fitness levels. We have people that run triathlons come in and then they just kind of like start puking during the warm up because they're like used to pushing in a certain way. It's like, look, I would die if I tried to do what you do. This is very sport specific. So just be humble. They're just, if you find a good gym, you get a good vibe from there. There are people there to support you. They're not going to push you like maliciously. But you got to go in and like we say, check your ego at the door. I mean, that's absolutely critical.
For sure. You definitely need people in life to push you a little further than you're used to going.
Oh, yeah, everybody does.
You get to that line, and then you see somebody who maybe has crossed that line already, and you can kind of take a little mentorship and go, all right, guide me. I'm ready to make the move. I just need a little guidance, a little mentorship. Mm-hmm. That's another thing that I like in the rooms is you have levels that are high above you that are just absolute elite guys that are elite athletes, elite fighters, they're top-level guys, too. I could bring my mom into the gym and have her do an introductory jiu-jitsu class.
Right.
And that's the beauty of it all is top to bottom, you can be in the room with people who you aspire to be like, from that standpoint, or just there to have the camaraderie and the discipline to stay fit.
Yeah. If you go in there with the attitude that you're going to try and win every time, you're just not gonna, because there just are people better than you. And if you're trying to win, then you're kind of screwing yourself the opportunity to learn and also your training partner.
Very true.
So yeah, just treat it as training. Just growth is in discomfort. Be okay being uncomfortable. Right.
So I've always heard of Krav Maga. That's how you pronounce it, correct?
Yep.
So not super educated in that whole world and stuff like that, but like I don't necessarily remember the first time I've heard of Krav Maga, but I remember whenever I first met my future father-in-law, he was he was like, I'm training Krav Maga, right? And I'm like, I've heard of that, but I don't know what you're saying is like close quarter combat. And I'm like, are you like gonna say you're gonna kick my ass? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, he's testing you. That's it. So Krav Maga is just a combative system, right? So it was originally, developed for the Israeli military back in the late 40s. And honestly, like depending on who you talk to, it's a very political subject, but the story is it goes back to Israel, late 40s. Anyway, essentially, take their situation at the time, like you've got a, largely conscripted military, you're trying to bring up anybody to a reasonable level of proficiency quickly. So how do we do that? Well, let's just borrow from stuff we know works. We got boxing, wrestling, judo, these kind of things. So over time, it's sort of, grown a little bit. We've, expanded into some knowledge from combat sports athletes and try to enhance it a little bit. But basically, the gist of it is you're teaching somebody how to fight. You've got like 6 or 8 months to do it. What do they need to learn? And then how do you train them so they become as effective as possible during that period of time?
Okay.
But it's also a modern self-defense system. So it's not just like fighting in the ring, fighting one-on-one in the same weight class or whatever. It's like we need to address, what if that dude has a weapon? What if it's more than one guy? So pretty much the very aggressive mindset, just take care of it quickly so that, it can be flexible. You're trying to take care of the situation, quickly so that it ends. And that's just what's best for everybody, I think,
So you're trying to incapacitate the person, this is if your life's on the line.
Neutralize the threat.
Right? So instead of sport fighting, this is, violence.
Yeah. It's, it's been like, I think especially during the early days, like it got a lot of, marketing that was really aggressive. Like, this is not a martial art. This is a fighting system. And that's true. And it really tried hard to differentiate itself from traditional martial arts. And again, I agree with that, but I think inadvertently a lot of the Krav Maga organizations early on sort of maybe got a bad reputation because they were trying to expand and they, got a little commercialized or whatever. What matters to me is that like if you're going to teach somebody how to fight, you actually pressure test that at some point. Like you can't just teach somebody like how to punch and kick or whatever and then call it good, because that would be a martial arts. Like, all right, I'm going to have you try to do whatever it is we're teaching you to do, but now there's a resisting opponent or things could happen that you don't, expect, and we just expect you to try and survive and fight.
Correct.
So I don't know if you know this, but I'm in the FBI. So I did some research on you, and
allegedly.
So I was going through your Instagram. I was like, I got to figure out what this guy's all about. And I did notice that. Now I don't remember exactly when it happened, but you had an injury to your spine, correct?
Yep.
So I don't know if that's
I don't know.
Okay, so so when I don't know necessarily exactly what happened, but like when it did actually happen, what was your mindset when it did happen, and what was your mindset like going through that process?
So this is so basically I had 2 discs replaced in my spine, like my C5, C6, C6, C7, so lower neck were just obliterated, and I ended up having to get artificial bits put in. I'm technically a cyborg, so cool. Yeah,
nice. Steve
So
Austin.
it's been better than I was before. It's been an injury that's been kind of nagging me for 10 or 15 years, and like this last time, going into physical therapy, but like before it really got bad, I was like, oh crap, here this is again. I think this is the big one, basically, when it's finally going to catch up to me. And, I was doing physical therapy, it got better, and then I woke up one morning, and that's when I slept on a funny or something. I don't know. That's when the discs just kind of destroyed themselves. And so, went to the surgeon and everything. They're like, yeah, you're going to have to get this operated on. That's not going to fix itself. And I was thinking, like, this could be it. Like, I'm not going to be able to do what I love to do anymore. How's this going to affect my training and, my passion for working out, but also my business, right? How am I going to be able to keep providing for my family if I can't teach or whatever? So all that's going through my head. I was also in like a lot of pain too, so I was just focusing on that for the most part. But fortunately, I had a really good surgical team. My wife and the rest of my family, and also my whole team and everything was really supportive, and I was able to get through it relatively quickly. I mean, that was less than a year ago, and here I am basically doing, CrossFit and jiu-jitsu and everything again.
Shout out to the surgical team, man.
For sure. Yeah, it was amazing. So basically, like the way my nerves and everything were impinged, I was completely paralyzed in this arm. Like I could barely even lift it over my head. And it was like I still have some atrophy and nerve damage and stuff, but couldn't sleep for several months. Just was like screaming in pain all the time, and it was like that for a long time. And then like the day of the surgery, like even though I was on a lot of pain meds and everything, I woke up and I was just like, this is instantly better. I was walking around that day and everything. It was modern medicine, guys.
It's like a new lease on life.
Yeah, it was well. And yeah, it's good that you say that because that's really made me appreciate, health and mortality and all this other stuff. So it's definitely changed my perspective a lot in the past year.
I shouldn't have ate that pizza last night, man.
You just never know. It might be.
It could have been your last pizza. You never know.
Could have been your last
right?
pizza.
No, but I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad that the surgeons or doctors or whoever it was, took care of you. It's good. So
yeah.
Speaking of injuries, have you suffered any other injuries throughout your training?
Yeah.
Want to speak on some of those bad boys?
Yeah, we play kind of hard. So broken fingers, broken toes. I actually had to go to the only time we were going to the ER was all right. So it was closing down. I was moving one of my gyms like basically across the street. And it was our last day of working out. And so we're just starting with the warm up, and basically it's just like we're square off in a fight stance. We're just gonna play shoulder tag, like pretty basic stuff. And I guess we're getting a little excited and everything. I'm like, cool, I know this guy's going to come at me kind of hard. And it was like, yeah, let's go. And then he basically just finger pokes me right in the eye. And this is one of those guys that doesn't trim his nails. Trim your nails, folks.
Trim your nails,
yes.
folks.
And
trim your
basically
nails.
Scratched the crap out of my eyeball. Had to go into Parkland at like 2 a.m. because that's the only place that was open. Don't go to Parkland at 2 a.m. No. And unfortunately, it didn't
Might have
cause
to use your
any
fighting
kinda,
skills.
You will, yeah. It's good practice. But yeah, so I basically, had to get the antibiotics and everything. Fortunately, there was no damage, permanent damage to my eye. Speaking of, too, there's a lot of, I guess, misconceptions about like groin strikes and ear slaps and like eye pokes and like kind of the dirty fighting in martial arts. Like it works really well when it works, but I've been kicked in the groin plenty of times. Sometimes it doesn't register right away. The time I got poked in the eye and it got sent to the ER, my first reaction wasn't like, I'm done, I want to give up. It was like, I want to break this dude's face. Mm-hmm. So learn how to fight for real.
Be a good sparring partner.
That too. Trim your nails.
I would say I got pterodactyl clawed one time, dude.
What is a pterodactyl claw?
You know what it is, bro. That guy takes off his flops and you see it, dude. It's sitting there. Yeah. And it's like kind of yellow. And it's like, man, I don't know about this, dude. I don't know about this, dude. So George goes, he's like, hey, Ryan, you're going to spar with the new guy.
Yeah.
First thing I do, hygiene check. Not looking good. I'm keeping my distance, dude. And then this dagger's just flying at me left and right. And I'm just like looking at him like I'm just trying to teep kick him to keep him off me. Just, And I just got the slash across the shin, and I was like, I'm gonna die. This is infected for sure.
I feel like we're really selling the sport here.
Well, listen. You got to get, if you want to have some fun, you got to play in the mud. You just got to clean up.
That's true.
It's a good time. I love sparring, but yes, please be a good sparring partner. If you're huge, don't throw hard check hooks to knock me out. I'm 155, and I suck.
You take it really well, though.
I do take it well. Take it real well.
Oh, my God.
All the time. From a lady. Dude, listen, when you've been married for 10 years, getting kicked in the face or punched in the jaw ain't nothing, dude. You can handle that all day. 10 years of marriage, baby. That's the real battle.
Okay,
got the good one too, by the way. I love my wife. Just saying, she's great.
Shout out Marion. Yes. I don't know why we haven't met yet. We need to meet.
Because she'd whoop your ass, dude.
That's fine.
I'm trying to keep her away, man.
Whoop your ass. Courtney will whoop your ass.
Let's have again.
So I got a would you rather. So this is a kind of like a fighting to the death would you rather. Okay. So I may have asked you this before, Ryan. I'm not sure, but I love would you rathers. Sometimes my would you rathers get out of hand, but this one it'll be. Whatever. Yeah. So, would you rather get into a fight with a fist fight with a grizzly bear on land, or a fist fight with a great white shark in the water? Now, we'll just call it waist deep in water. Now,
waist deep.
So essentially, I guess you're going to be picking the way you're going to die because, how are you going to beat a grizzly bear in a fist fight, or a shark in a fist fight?
I'm gonna trip your ass before I take off running.
Okay. I feel like I might have a chance against the great white. I'm not saying like if it decides to eat me, I'm done. No, don't. It's respect nature, everybody. But grizzly bear, there's just no way I can't hurt it at all. Mm-hmm. You can't run from it. You're just dead.
Leonardo DiCaprio survived it. In The Revenant.
Yeah. So, a little different. I mean, I guess it might be over quicker if you're with a grizzly,
Yeah.
But with a great shark or great white, you can just boop the snoot, right? That's what you're supposed to do.
You would think, yeah.
I'll just flip it upside down like I see in the videos.
Yeah, but I also suck. I'm a terrible swimmer, so what I do after. I mean, if I'm waist deep, okay, I can get out. But if I, let's say I do defend against a shark, then what? Well, I guess I drown. That would suck.
All you really got to do is just flip it upside down, guys.
You're really strong then.
I've seen it done multiple times. It doesn't look that hard.
It's really just Aikido it. You just kind of redirect its energy, and then you're good. Yeah.
I guarantee you Steven Seagal's done that.
Steven Seagal Tai Chi to shark
thing
back in '82 for sure.
So speaking of Steve Seagal, he was. Do you remember Steve Seagal, Lawman? Do y'all remember that?
I think I've seen that.
So he was I'm
going
to put this in quotes. So he was a sheriff. I don't know if he actually was or is. But in Jefferson Parish, which is where I grew up in. I was born in New Orleans, and that's where he was a sheriff, and it was a hilarious show. Mm-hmm. Looking back on it, it's even more hilarious.
Just almost everything he does nowadays is just awesome. You don't have to do any of that, but he's gonna, and he's gonna Steven Seagal the crap out of it.
Did you guys know that he allegedly taught Anderson Silva a front kick before a UFC title defense?
Yeah, he
took credit for the move.
Really?
Oh,
it's well documented.
It's well documented because Anderson definitely didn't know that. Nope. Front kick.
You could put your foot on their face.
He was like, "Why don't you try just putting your foot on his chin? See how it works."
Like I said, boop the snoot.
Ba-doop.
I didn't know that.
That was a great knockout.
You ever play that game? What is the largest animal you think you could take?
No, but we can play right now.
Okay.
The largest animal that I can take. That's, dude. I don't know.
Land animal.
Mm-hmm. Okay, land.
Yeah. Giraffe? So, no way.
No, giraffe. If I was an animal, I'd be a giraffe. Look at this neck, dude. Mm-hmm. It's super long. But oh man. Okay, raccoon all day. I'm killing that trash panda.
Man, you're underestimating pandas.
But no, hold on. Well, yeah, I guess.
Raccoons got hands, player.
Yeah,
got hands
they
for
play
real.
To win.
They got all of them. They got the.
He's already in the trash can, so I just got to sit on it, and he'll
just
suffocate in the
Texas
the dumpster.
Heat.
All right, real question. How big of a big cat could you fight? All right, can you fight a feral cat? Can you fight a bobcat?
Don't fight a house cat.
Can you fight a mountain
dude.
lion?
No.
Can you fight a cougar? Can you fight a cheetah? Could you take out a baby lion? What level of cat can you handle?
I'm going with the baby lion.
Yeah, baby lion maybe, because animals are pretty dumb, but I gotta think.
Feral cats will fuck you up. That's all I'm telling you, dude. I got fucked up by a feral cat one time. This is a true story. I was in my early 20s. My dog bark alarm went off on my cell phone, and it wasn't my cat, but someone's cat attacked my leg, dude, and lost its mind. Bit me like 3 times.
Oh, I've had that. I get crawled up and like basically it was just kind of right here.
I'm telling you,
claws all the way in. Yeah.
I would almost rather take a bigger cat because you have a better chance of getting a hold of that mother.
I feel like the way you said someone's cat like that was like you know who it is and you're calling them out.
No,
indirectly.
Not directly
No.
at all. This is in the early 20s again. This cat came out of left field and just bit me down. I wasn't ready for it. I didn't know a dog bark alarm could set a cat off. You know what I mean? I got the cat with PTSD in the house running around just like, I'll just, bow, go to the ER, get the freaking penicillin, buddy.
Ooh.
Well, there was that dude a couple years ago or something, right? He like beat up a mountain lion or something like that. He got attacked and basically went fisticuffs with a cougar.
Really?
Yeah, or a mountain lion.
Whenever you say fisticuffs, is it like this?
Yeah, Marquess of Queensberry rules. Sure.
See? I don't know why I said it that way. But
Jack Dempsey.
20 Chicago, I guess.
Okay.
Sugar Ray Robinson.
There you go. I may have heard about that. I'm not sure, but I know that the most recent like video that I've seen with like someone in an animal was this guy. I think we were talking about it the other day, maybe I don't know, but this guy was on like the side of a mountain and a bear like came down at him. Have y'all seen that?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god, we'll watch it once we're done. It is insane. I had so much anxiety watching the video. It was one of those videos where you're just like, oh my god, I'm gonna die right here watching.
He was on
this.
a cliff, you're saying?
Yeah, and he had like a GoPro.
That makes it better.
Yes, he had a GoPro or something like that, and the bear just like comes down at him, and he's like screaming and just doing anything he can just to get the bear away from him.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Have you ever been attacked by an animal, Danny?
Yeah, I got been rammed by a goat. Let's see, been attacked by seagulls. Yeah, cats.
Did you have food?
Seagulls can suck it, by the way.
Yeah. So actually, all right, fun story. So I used to work in Alaska, right? I used to work for the National Marine Fisheries Service. So I was actually like on board deadliest catch kind of boats and everything. And that was a fun job right out of college, right? And one thing they told us, like when they're like training us and everything, like how to do samples and like how to work on boats, they're like, all right, no matter how funny you think it might be, don't ever stick like a bait fish or like a mackerel or something like that in somebody else's bibs, because like seals will attack you. Like, so yeah, fun fact, seals will attack you in Alaska, so just don't mess with them. Mm-mm. Yeah, that's an animal you're not going to win.
I've had seagulls by me before, and I had hot Cheetos. I was eating them whenever I was in like middle school or something, and they were like,
"You're supposed to
give
share."
me some. And I was like, "Go away."
So did the seagull tackle the person? What went down? How did it go down? Not the seagull, but the seal.
I'm sorry. The seal. Yeah. No. They're actually, it was the person got really badly hurt that did that. Yeah.
I was gonna say because the seal's what, like 500 pounds?
Yeah, they're very, very large.
Very slippery, hard to get in a headlock.
Or sea lions, I guess.
Sea lions. Have you ever seen in the Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, California, where they have the seals and they're all laying on the pallets?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there's always that giant leopard seal and a big old fucker, and he's sitting on the pallet by himself, and all the other seals are just like stacked on top of each other. I was like,
this is my rock.
That's right. He's like, get off my pallet, dude. Get off of here. But I always thought that how the law of the jungle is, in nature, how things just kind of settle themselves by the biggest one of whatever species it is, or the most aggressive one of whatever species it is, tends to sit on the top.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have that hierarchy here in our space as much.
So what are you talking about?
Well, just like the law of the jungle, how things work themselves out, like, how the biggest predators, like the sharks or the sea lions, or, how they all kind of operate within their own little groups.
My theory on that, I think we kind of do. Like, it really just comes down to, like, the energy cost of, trying to displace that bigger, badder kind of person. So, like, being a little bit more, I guess, intelligent species, like, that can apply to, things like business or whatever. Like, if I'm going to try and, take my boss's job or something like that, is it really worth the energy and effort and expense? So, I mean, kind of, but maybe more complex.
It reminds me of Succession. Have you seen that show?
Mm-mm.
I know you don't watch TV, Ryan, but has anyone seen Succession out there? It's a very good show, but it's pretty much about this like billionaire family, and the old guy is like literally has his hands in every single media organization ever and has all these businesses, and he's like trying to figure out who's going to take over the company, and he has 4 children, and then like people that are like in the family are like trying to like, it's a whole thing, but it's actually pretty good. Macaulay Culkin's brother's in it, Kieran Culkin, and he is hilarious. Did you know that he's in Home Alone, Kieran Culkin?
No.
Yeah, so he's like the little brother that's like, I don't want to sleep in the same bed as him. He's going to pee in the bed.
Was that like Fuller? Was his name?
I don't remember the character's name, but he like had the glasses. That's Kieran Culkin. That's his brother. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Right.
I guess it's better to be the prince than the king.
Yeah.
Macaulay. How many Home Alones were there? 3 or 4?
So I think he
least
was
3.
in 2. There is more. I think there's 4, but the other 3 and 4 I think they were just different actors. So
It's a different continuity. They actually rebooted the series. I don't know. I'm just making that up. Maybe.
yeah, they rebooted.
Probably did.
Yeah.
Quite possibly.
And actually, the third one, even though it wasn't Macaulay Culkin, it was actually it was pretty good. I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
I would say Basketball Diaries is my favorite. Is Macaulay Culkin in that?
Basketball Diaries?
Who's the dude that's a heroin addict in Basketball Diaries?
Dude, I haven't seen that movie in
Is it
forever.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
I don't know.
Whoever it is, dude, it's a good movie. Irregardless, check it out.
My favorite movie, hands down, is, without a doubt, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. My favorite.
That's a great martial arts movie. Danny, what's your favorite martial arts movie?
Favorite martial arts movie? Probably like Ong Bak, I think, just because it was like awesome. Or actually, I don't know. I mean, The Raid might be really good.
yeah, I was
The
just
Raid's
getting ready to say The
fantastic.
Raid.
I was thinking like best choreography because like the stories suck most of the time. But yeah, The Raid is really good.
What about you? What's your favorite?
I would say that my favorite Bruce Lee movie is Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on in your face, but I do agree.
I was just showing
was dubbing.
homage to the dubs.
Oh, okay. Oh, it shows you
There
how
was one-
slow I am then.
There was one with that was Chuck Norris, right? Or was that Return of the Dragon?
Oh, see, now you got me confused.
I don't know.
I believe it was Enter the Dragon with Chuck Norris, yes.
No, because Enter was on the island.
Yeah, Enter the
Enter?
Dragon was with the
Yeah,
guy with like
Return
the
of the Dragon.
Wolverine.
Yeah,
you're right.
claws.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
So, do y'all remember? Did you ever play Sega? Either of you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there was a Bruce Lee. I'm just making sure. I don't know. So, not Sega Saturn. That's a bust. Sega Genesis, and this game may have been on like Super Nintendo as well, but I remember playing it on Sega Genesis. It was the Bruce Lee video game. Have y'all played that?
No.
It was so fun. Such a hard game, but it was so fun.
Yeah, all those games back in the day were hard.
man.
Like Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that. Like,
Yes.
you're just not going to win. Like, there's only an hour and a half worth of actual game, but like it's going to take you a lifetime to actually beat it. Like,
Yeah.
that was the value, I guess, back in the day.
Like Punch-Out, you could never get to Mike Tyson. It was
oh,
almost
dude.
impossible. And that was back when you had to make a perfect run. You could not lose. Like, if you lost, it's over. There's no restarting at the level. You got to start your happy ass back at 0 and get to 10.
But there was always that one guy's like older brother that would just like master the game or something.
yes.
It's like, oh my god, watch this.
And he's playing all weird, too. He's like, why aren't you playing normal style? He's like, because I'm better than you.
That must have happened everywhere because that literally happened to me.
You ever see that movie, The Wizard? It was with I think Fred Savage. You know what I'm talking about?
I know Fred Savage, but I don't think I've heard of The Wizard.
Dude, it was like awesome 80s movies. So it's all about Nintendo, right? So this Fred Savage's younger brother is, I guess today we'd say probably has like Asperger's or something like that. But he's like very, very, very good at video games, but socially very awkward, right?
Are we talking about Ben Savage?
No, I mean it's like the characters.
yeah, I know, I'm messing.
Yeah, Ben Savage actually. It's a tale. So it's like around the release of Mario 3 or whatever, and like so they have like this big video game tournament, but like there's this awesome scene with this dude introduces the Power Glove and everything. Sorry, I'm just gonna nerd out about this movie that nobody's ever seen.
I actually do remember the Power Glove, though.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could plug
So
it in, and
bad.
it had all the it had the side thing, and then you could.
You can like drive with it and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The have you? There's a movie that came out like 2 years ago for Christmas called 8-Bit Christmas, and Neil Patrick Harris is in it, and he's like talking. I think I want to say it's his daughter in the movie. It's one of his kids, and they're like reminiscing about the first time that he got a Super Nintendo, and then like so there's this like rich kid in the movie that like always gets the first like brand new stuff that comes out, and the Power Glove was one of them. And it's such a good, like, just a feel good nostalgic movie.
So my my daughter, I gave her she's 4 years old, so I was like, yeah, she likes playing games on mommy and daddy's phone and everything, so I got her a Nintendo Switch. But nowadays they have like an emulator for like Nintendo, Sega, all that stuff. They have all the old games and everything. So of course, like she is playing all the like old Sega games and all that. Like it's a pretty good hit in nostalgia. I've been kind of missing.
Yeah.
It's fun, like you remember the little theme songs, like
Oh yeah, they were so good.
Yeah.
Like that'll be burned in my memory forever.
I think probably one of my favorite games ever, just because of like my friends that I played it with, was Super Smash Bros. Melee on GameCube. Like,
Never played the GameCube one, but I just always had the 64 version.
Yes.
Still, it's the classic Smash Brothers. Yeah.
So 6-5 was the way.
So that's my favorite fighting game, probably.
not Street Fighter?
No, I mean
I love Street Fighter.
Yeah, I do too. I was like more of a Mortal Kombat guy.
Yeah,
but
What?
Super Smash Brothers was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like the whoopsie guy.
Oh, Toasty, I think.
Yeah, is that what he says?
Toasty.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Oh no, he says toasty. That's
think
what,
so,
toasty. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was whoopsie.
I always
this
thought it
whole
was.
time.
Maybe,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Now this is going to have to be figured out in the comments section.
I know. Pretty much.
Well, let's see. Who's your favorite boxer of all time, Danny?
Lomachenko, I think.
Lomachenko.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely. I heard that he won the fight against. Who did he just compete against? Haney, Devin Haney. I heard that he got the dub and then they gave it to Haney.
Yeah, that's the rumor. I mean, honestly, like I haven't really, because I've been so busy, I don't really get a chance to follow a lot of boxing or UFC.
Understood.
And I mean, yeah, so I mean, I get to watch him kind of vicariously through other people. But
True.
But yeah, I heard he kind of got robbed.
True. As a barber and a busy father and husband, I regurgitate things that people tell me and I don't fact check. So most of the things I say, don't listen to.
Yeah, we get pretty good at faking it though, right?
It's true. It's like, how you doing? Be like, I don't know. How am I doing?
Yeah, sports.
I've been working for 20 hours.
There was a sports this weekend.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm awake. Yeah, we actually went to some fights over the weekend. I know that you guys hosted fights at your gym, Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
How was that event? How'd it go? Was everybody enjoying their time and the fights went well?
What a name.
Yeah, it's barbecue. So the originally was just we're gonna go beat each other up. Let's go out for barbecue afterwards. It just kind of morphed into like, let's do some seminars. Let's have people from out of town come in. So this year was good. Most importantly, nobody died.
Yes.
That's always the most important thing. But yeah, it's good times. We had some folks coming in from Tennessee and from Ohio and stuff. Usually we'll have people coming from other states as well. But yeah, everybody I think had a pretty good time. Seminars are really good. Yeah, it's one of those things we do. It's like the biggest event we do every year. So yeah, check it out. It's Barbecue 2024. It's gonna be the 11th time we've done it, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
11th time. That's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe we should get some samurai suits and we can kick it off with Shawn and I having a royal battle royale.
Do we have samurai suits that can actually fit me?
How about I just wear one?
One of those
I
big
wanna wear
block
one.
sumo
and we
suits,
just
maybe?
battle.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not fair. I
or
want
like
one.
remember the sock and boppers? You know,
Dude,
they have like the
yes.
they have like the adult version of them now.
Yeah, the
So-
Hulk hands.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that should actually be, or the Ultimate Pillow Fighting Championship.
Oh, dude.
You seen those? Like they actually have like the built-in handles and everything. You
No,
just, like,
that never heard of it. You just blew my mind. I want to do that.
So I think there was actually a league and like a promotion, everything around it. Yeah,
I love it.
Was it
And-
Dana White?
I don't know. It'd be stupid not to invest in that kind of thing. Why not, right? But it's literally like a pillow attached to like a handle, and you just go to town on somebody. I don't know what the rules are. I don't really care. Just want to have some people step into the ring and beat the crap out of each other with pillows.
There you go.
I'm here for it.
So
I want to get some now, but well,
Ladies and gentlemen,
yeah,
I appreciate you coming on, man. It was really nice
Danny
to
Hines.
really nice to officially meet you. So
Yeah.
it's been fun.
yeah, I had a
It's
great
been
time.
fun. It's been a blast.
Blasty blast.
Yeah,
Go kick some ass.
yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
Peace.